So, hi guys, welcome to White Line Fever. My name's Alex. So this is my first video that I'm putting up in this series. It's actually the first video I've ever made. Hopefully you won't notice. A little bit about White Line Fever. It's going to be a really serious rugby blog. I want to talk about some of the happenings in the rugby world at the moment, talk about some of the players, some of the big names. And I think for the first one, I've sort of got to kick off with a big one, start as we mean to go on. And where bigger to start than the England squad first, the 33-man squad, but then also the captains. And there's been quite a lot of rumours going around, a lot of people saying about captains. And there's 4 front runners, I think, is established. And they are Dylan Hartley, Joe Launchbury, Mike Brown and Maro Itoje. I personally think it should be 5. I think that Tom Wood should be included in the squad, but he's not, so we're not going to dwell on that. So let's get started then. Joe Launchbury is 24 years old now. He's got 28 caps for England. And I'd say going into this, he's definitely one of the form players, especially at club level. If you look at that Wasps team, they've beaten Leinster, beaten Toulon, and quite convincingly as well. I think he's really been at the core of those victories, having some real standout performances. But for captaincy of England, personally, I don't think he has the charisma. I think he's a little bit too quiet. I don't think he'd really lead England like they need to be led in these next transitional few years. And so, in my opinion, I think he'd be a good captain, but I don't think he's the right man for England at this time. Dylan Hartley is, I think, a hot topic for captaincy. There's a lot of people saying that he shouldn't be captain because of his discipline issues. And I think that they have a very valid point. I think that if he was to be captain, Eddie Jones would need to sit down with him before and explain to him the situation and how he has to be and how he has to be really a role model for the rest of the team. Regarding his play, I think play-wise and ability-wise, he definitely could be captain. I think he's a motivational player. He's got very good arrows. I think his set piece is quite good. And around the park, although he may not be as good as Tom Young's, which is why some people would say that he should be in the squad, I think that he's a more rounded player. And I think that shows. I think you can, if you were to watch the two play, you can tell that Dylan's a much more experienced player. And I personally think that Dylan will get the captaincy for reasons that I'll come on to later on. The third man in the running is Mike Brown. In my opinion, I don't think that Mike Brown should be the captain of England. I think that he should focus on his own game. I think he's got enough to worry about, and definitely with the England defence being how it is, I just don't think he really needs the captaincy as an extra thing to focus on. Also, positionally wise, I think that although in some environments having a 15 as a captain is a very useful thing, I think the way that England are going to play and plan on playing, they really need to have a captain who's in those set pieces, in those scrums, in those mauls, knowing what's happening on the contact bases more than just defensively. So for those reasons, I don't think Mike Brown should be the captain. The final man, I say man, he's only young, he's my age, he's 21, is Maro Itoje. And similar to Launchbury, Maro has been in severely good form leading up to this. He's just got Aviva Premiership Player of the Month, and he stands at 6'5" and weighs, I think, 115 or 16 kg. He's a mountain. And some of you may not know that he actually led England under-20s through to World Cup victory. And he also led Saracens A-team through to winning the LV Cup. So he's used to being in that captaincy environment. And whilst I think that everyone knows a step up from the Saracens A-team to England is vast, I think that he's the sort of player that will really relish that opportunity, and he's got that calm head to have that on the side and do what he needs to do with the captaincy whilst also focusing on his own game and playing a good game. So I think that Maro would be a very good captain for England, but whether Eddie Jones chooses to pick him is another different story. So although I think that Maro would be a brilliant captain for England, and I think he will be captain after the Six Nations, for the Six Nations, I think that Eddie Jones should put Dylan Hartley as captain. I think that he's going to have to work very closely by the side of him, explaining him exactly what he wants him to do. And And I think that Maro should be put as vice-captain for the Six Nations, because I think it would be a good chance to really have a leadership role without being the top dog, without obviously having the C on the shirt. I think if you were to put someone like Launchbury in as captain now, it would be seen as more of a long-term thing. Launchbury's never been captain before, so why put him captain just for the Six Nations? If you put him captain for those, you'd almost have to carry on playing him as captain because he's only 24, whereas Dylan's now 29 or 30, I think. So I think that he seems like more of a temperamental captain. And one that can lead England through the Six Nations, hopefully to do a lot better than the World Cup escapades. But then after the Six Nations, I think regardless, Maro should be the England captain. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. It'd be great to hear what you think. I'm sure you'll all have different opinions to me. Mine are quite niche. And it would be great to hear them in the comment section. Please like and share this video and subscribe if you can. Brilliant. Thanks very much. It's been White Line Fever.